What's up, family? I'm the guy that showcase and promote African American businesses operating here in the greater Phoenix area. Please help me further support these amazing entrepreneurs by not only supporting my YouTube channel or following me on Facebook, but also stop by their businesses and give them a little economic support. My name is Shaka and this is African American-Made.
Okay, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time and inviting me to your lovely home.
My pleasure.
Such a beautiful family. Thank you again.
You're welcome, no problem at all.
Won't you tell me your name and the name of your business, man?
My name is Scott Adams, and the name of my business is MJA Apparel.
MJA Apparel. What inspired you to go into the clothing business?
Well, it's interesting because my son, he was born with a disability, with cerebral palsy. My son's name is Malcolm John Adams, and he was born with cerebral palsy. So I thought when he was born, I wanted to kind of touch base or just help other people out in his situation like him and be able to give back to the disabled and handicapped community. So I thought if I start a clothing line, I'd be able to give back and help others out. That's just like him.
That's amazing, man. So, I mean, that's got to be a lot to have a child with special needs.
Yes.
Tell me what that journey's been like for you at this point.
It's been rough. I mean, you know, he's 11 years old now, and being that he can't walk or talk, it's hard. It's hard on us, it's hard on the family. And, you know, the inspiration is from him to do this whole clothing line, to start a business with clothing where I can, you know, help other disabled individuals express themselves. Being that my son can't talk, I thought it'd be a good idea to start a clothing line where I could touch many lives, I can bring smiles to people's faces, and then I could put certain images or expressions on the shirt for the disabled person to express themselves.
And that's amazing. That's a very unique concept.
Thank you.
So we talked about this a little bit over the phone.
Yes.
You said sayings and expressions
Yes.
on the shirt that a disabled person may not be able to communicate
Exactly.
verbally. Or maybe they can communicate it verbally, but it's a nonverbal on the shirt, right?
Right.
Well, give me some ideas, some examples of what kind of slogans.
Right. No, I got little slogans like "Never give up." You know,
Yeah.
that resonates with the disabled, handicapped community very well. You know, being that my son cannot walk or talk, I want him to never give up. So I thought anybody out there globally that's going through anything like that, if you can't, no matter if you could walk or talk or whatever you can't do, never give up. It's just that it hits hard, and it hits hard for me.
So it's inspiration for them, and it's inspiration to others.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's right.
So have you been able to engage with people in the disabled community?
Yes. I communicate. I work with UCP, actually, United Cerebral Palsy of Central Arizona. They was one of the first ones to, do some type of business with me and support me in what I'm doing. And I supported them as well. You know, I donate stuff to their facility and things like that. So yes, the UCP.
Okay, so for people who are not really familiar with cerebral palsy, can you kind of like explain a little bit about what cerebral palsy is?
Well, cerebral palsy is like a brain. It's a disability that starts with the brain, and it's all about the brain. Your brain is damaged. So if you have cerebral palsy, that means your brain is permanently damaged, and it affects your motor skills. So it affects things like sitting up, walking, talking, those type of communication skills. It's damaged. Those are damaged, and it's damaged. It's a permanent damage. It's not a situation where it gets better. It's a permanent damage. You can only teach the individual to try to walk and talk with therapy and physical therapy and things like that. But as far as the damage, it's permanent. It doesn't get no better.
Now, is there different levels to that, like severities?
Yeah,
or is it pretty much kind of the same?
No, it could be more severe. Some kids can have minor cerebral palsy, or it could be strong. It could be a strong cerebral palsy too, where you really can't do much of anything. But my son is able to smile, giggle, he laughs, he can reach for things and stuff like that. But the motor skills is all damaged. So, but which can get better though.
Okay. Now, how does that progress, or is it different in different cases for different people as they get older? As a person gets older, does it get worse?
No, it does
Okay.
not get worse and it does not get better with cerebral
Gotcha,
palsy.
gotcha.
There's no, once the damage is there, the damage is there, and it doesn't get better or worse.
Okay.
You can only treat it and help it through physical therapies and things like that.
So you just
Speech
kinda-
therapy, physical therapy, swallow, things like that.
So you just maintain it.
You just gotta maintain it. Because in the beginning, your child won't be able to do any of this stuff. You know, when he's a baby and he has cerebral palsy, he can't do it, doesn't know how. Plus, it's a disability. But once you go to physical therapy, they teach the kid how to swallow, how to chew, how to move his arms around, and how to, just how to do things that he doesn't have no idea how to do, like a normal child.
Got you. Man, so you and your wife, you take care of your child, and you help them, throughout the years, obviously.
Yes.
You're very hands-on with your child.
100%.
Now that whole experience has inspired you to start this clothing line.
Yes.
How did you come up with the logo?
Well, I thought about it, and being that I was doing something for my son, because before, like I mentioned, before I was doing this, I was doing a freight broker company. And I wanted to do something that, reflects my son and represents him in some kind of way. So I started trucking a freight broker company called MJA Transportation and Logistics. Once I realized I couldn't really help the disabled and handicapped community globally like I really want to do, I kind of thought about clothing. So I said, let me switch gears where I could be more hands-on and help people out globally that's disabled and handicapped. Like, what can I do to really help them out? So then I switched to MJA Apparel, and the logo, I came across about, 8 to 10 different logos, maybe 15 at one point, and then I picked a few that I like, and I showed it to my wife, and she picked the one that I have now.
Yeah, it's a really nice, clean logo.
Thank
I really
you.
like
So
it. Yeah.
I give that credit to my wife.
Okay. Now you donate,
Yes, I do.
and let me see if I get this right, because you corrected me earlier.
It's all good.
10% of
My sales.
your sales. Thank you for doing it again.
Yep. I donate.
10% of your sales, of all sales, go
all sales.
to charity.
Yes.
Okay.
I donated to the disabled and handicapped communities globally of all sales. And I try to keep up with it quarterly. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with it quarterly. It's kind of, but that's what I do quarterly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Man, and you do that out the gate.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
You're a new company, just getting up and running, and you're doing this right away. You're contributing to the community right away.
Yeah, I wanted to make a difference right out the gate. I just didn't want to. It's not about the money. I mean, everybody. I know it's cliche to say it's not, but it's not really about the money. It's about making a difference and helping out, and how can I affect other people's lives that is disabled and handicapped. So when I came up with the clothing business, as far as MJ Apparel, I said, okay, I'll have an online store, but how can I give back? How can I make a change? How can I help other people that's like my son? So that's when I decided to give away 10% of my sales to the UCP. And then also I donate clothing globally to disabled and handicapped facilities. So that's out the gate.
That's amazing. Now, how do you do that? How do you donate the clothing part?
What I do is I call up facilities globally, make connections with whoever's in charge, and then once I make the connection in some type of relationship, I just say, what do they need? How many people's in their establishment? I find a little bit about their business, and then I just donate it to them. I get an address and I'll just donate it to them.
Great.
So
Great.
any amount, it could be, 10 shirts, 20, 30, it depends on how many people's in their establishment.
Okay. So when I come to your store, I'm ordering what you already have designed.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm not coming with my design and saying, hey, can you do this? I'm ordering what you have available on your store, in your store.
Right, if you come to my online store, which is www.mjaapparel.store, everything that you see on there, I may have about, 15, 16 different options or selections on there. It's all set. You may see shirts on there that say, never judge a book by its cover, judge it by the strength of its story. Then you'll see some stuff on there say, never give up. But whatever you do see, it's already set. You just buy what you see like it is.
Gotcha. So it's mostly, we've already covered that it's geared toward the disabled community, but you are offering inspirational
Messages.
Messages.
Yes, through the clothing.
Now, how did that concept come up for you to go that route and not say just do it?
Right. Well, I thought about it. I mean, being around my son every day and taking care of a child that, your own child that is that has a disability and a handicap, you kind of see what they can and what they can't do. And then, just talking to your child that's disabled, there's things you say to your child and you may think what he would say back to you if he could. So that's what made me say, okay, well, let me put some of these things, these expressions on shirts, and I'm going to get more and deeper into that as, time goes on. I'm going to make a bigger thing out of it where disabled and handicapped individuals are really communicating through their clothing. That's my main focus, So if you walk up on a child who's disabled, handicapped, or any individual that's disabled or handicapped and they can't talk, they may have something on their shirt that says something to you. That's what they're thinking about saying to you anyway, and then you could say something right back to them just off of reading their shirt.
Right.
So it's real deep for me. It's basically being able to communicate when you can't talk.
Something like, what you looking at, stupid?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. Don't stare at me, things like that, So I'm real deep with that, and I just want to be able for the disabled and handicapped community to express themselves and be happy. Just give them some type of platform.
That's wonderful, man. Now, coming from New York, how did you find your way to Arizona?
Well, back in 2007 is when we moved to Arizona, and to be honest with you, when we was in New York, we was thinking about different places, different states that my wife and I can go to, and she decided to come to Arizona. She did have family here in Arizona, so that kind of gave her a little edge to come out here in Arizona. And it was totally my wife's idea. Everybody always asks me what brought me to Arizona, and I'll be honest with you, it was my wife's idea. It's just a place she wanted to come to, so I supported it, and I got her here.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
You were like, Arizona?
Yeah. I heard how hot it is because anybody that knows me know I don't like the heat. So everybody's like, well, if you don't like the heat, what are you doing out here in Arizona? And I always tell them it was my wife.
Yeah, I got a family, man.
Yeah.
Who was at the table, man? I got the wrong end of the straw, man.
Right. But it hasn't been, the first 3 or 4 years was pretty rough as far as the heat and the summers out here. And we kind of getting adapted to it as time went on. Each summer got a little better. It's still crazy hot, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculously.
I've never gotten
ridiculously hot. I still sweat. I go everywhere with my sweat towel in the summertime. I gotta keep a little towel with me, but it's not as bad as it was the first couple of years.
That's
to be honest with you. So we're adapting to it.
Yeah, I never get used to the heat here. I've been here almost 20 years, so it's just,
wow.
Yeah, it's every summer I'm like, oh, here it goes.
Yeah, we've been here 16 years, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been about since 07, so about 16 years.
Yeah. So where would you like to see your clothing line and your company? Where would you like to see it go from here?
That's a good question. I would like to obviously expand like my online store. I would like people globally to actually, go on my online store and get things, and no matter what state you're in, you can get some of my apparel. But besides that, I would like my clothing to end up in retail stores like, I don't know, Macy's, JCPenney's, Nordstrom's.
Yeah.
I would like to have it in bigger markets like that, and I mean globally.
Yes.
So, and then if I can just donate my clothing to big companies as well, disabled and handicapped facilities that need my clothing, I want to expand that globally too. So I just want to expand globally. I want to be in retail stores. I want my online store to have a stronger presence. And I want to donate more to individuals that really can use my clothing and express themselves through my clothing.
Yes, because that is the crux of your whole business model that you give back to the community.
Right.
That 10%. I tell you, man, that's laudable, man. Really.
Yeah,
really.
I wanted to start with 10%. I mean, I could have did 2%, 3%, 5%, but I wanted to make a difference. It's not, like I said, it's not about the money. It's not about just coming into business and making money. It's about what can you do to make a difference? How can you really help out the disabled and handicapped community? So I would like to donate 10% of my sales to those facilities.
Right.
Globally.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And so how long has your online store been up?
It's been about 1.5 years now. This winter coming up, I say maybe August now. August coming up will be 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, August, September, make 2 years.
Okay. Now, you coming from New York.
Yes.
And I revere most people that come from New York as having a get it mentality, right? I mean, a go-getter mentality.
Yes,
right?
yes. Hungry.
Right.
Hungry for success.
Right.
And to help people, though.
Yes.
So, a lot of people are hungry just for success. And that's not really me. Of course, we all want to be successful, but I'm hungry to help people and success. But my main goal is helping people. I love to help people in general.
Now, is that something that has always been a part of who you are as
Yes.
a person, or did you evolve to that because through the journey you've taken with your son?
Well, and let me be, let me be honest with you. I've been through a lot. So giving back is definitely my number one thing. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of evolved to that, I guess. Leaving New York was one thing, but I have an older son, which is my firstborn, and he had passed away at the age of 23. So that kind of touched me in a certain way where, I understand life is short. I understand about helping others and giving back, but the first thing you understand, life is short. So when I lost my oldest son, when he was 23 years old, he passed away in his sleep, had a seizure. That right there kind of woke me up to saying, life is short. You gotta, help out and do these type of things, give back. And then when I had my son Malcolm now, and then he's born disabled with cerebral palsy, that was just the icing on the cake for me. To just give back and help everybody out. Like I said, it's not about the money per se. It's about what can you do to help other people. Can you put smiles on other people's faces? That's what it is for me.
Well, man, I tell you, that's amazing, man, that suffer loss,
Thank you.
that kind of loss of a son, and to have your current son have the challenges, we're born with the challenges that he has,
Right.
and you still have that heart to give back. That's amazing, man.
To be honest,
it can't be easy.
No, it's not easy. It's very difficult. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do this business if I couldn't give back to the disabled and handicapped community. That's why I do it, because it allows me to give my clothing to disabled and handicapped individuals globally and let them express themselves. But if I couldn't do that, I wouldn't do this business.
Coming from New York and having the drive that you have, in addition to the loss that you've had and the setbacks you've had with your current son,
Yes.
what motivates you aside from the stuff we've talked about? What motivates you?
Well, family, keeping my family together. I mean, that really motivates me. I like unity. I like everybody to be together. I like us all to grow together. I learned from other people who've done it before me, just doing business and giving back and helping out others. That's what keeps me motivated to keep doing it, because some people, they talk about what they do and they say they do it from their heart, but I love to give back to people and just giving away things. So that keeps me motivated, just helping out others and giving back.
So what other services does your company provide?
That's a good question. Well, we sponsor events as well, like pickleball events, tennis, golf tournaments, festivals, all indoor and outdoor activities and festivals and things of that nature. We sponsor those events. So if any of those bigger companies say, hey, we're having an event and we want you to sponsor it and we need some of your apparel, I will donate my apparel and sponsor it to that event, like hats, shirts, whatever they need, I will give them. And there's no charge to them to do that. That's one of the services I have as far as sponsoring events, and that's globally. Also, one of my services that a lot of other big companies don't know I do is I provide apparel in bulk for any size company with their logo on it. So, I don't know, it may be a place like, a car dealership like Honda or Toyota, and they say, hey, I want to get 500 shirts with our logo on it right here for all their employees. Can you do that? That's a service I do with no problem. I'll get you anything you need, any kind of hat, shirt, whatever you need with your logo on it. And most likely, that'll be cheaper than what you're already getting it from. Because I'm not just doing it to make money. I like to save people money as well, save them on their bottom line. So I do provide those services too.
Oh, wow, that's great. Might have to hook up African-American-Made on that.
Yeah, yep. So if you need your logo on your shirt for your company, I got you.
So what else do you offer on your store right now?
But right now we got casual wear, we have active wear, we have sports wear, and we have golf attire as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. And you donate to other organizations, but you also have apparel for people that want to purchase it. Not just tops, but you do sportswear and pants and stuff too.
Yes, hoodies, hoodies, sweatpants, yes.
And you said that you're going to go into doing shoes as well.
Yes.
You're doing shoes
Yes,
as well.
we're going to be getting golf shoes, and we're also going to be getting sneakers.
Okay, cool.
MJA Apparel sneakers as well.
Okay, great. Oh, so you just going to be running the whole thing.
Well, the plan is to have everything from head to toe. You know, if it's a hat, sure, hats, the shirts, the bottoms, and the footwear as well. And then we're also going to have things for everybody. If you're working out in the gym, we'll have the two-piece sets and the things that the ladies wear in the gym. We're going to have that. That's coming out, and as far as men as well too. So our gym stuff is going to expand as well.
Okay. Now, there's always an issue of quality when we talk about these outlets. How serious are you about the quality of your products?
That's a good question. I try to get, products that is on the same level as, other big name companies out there, no matter if it's Nike or Adidas or Under Armour. I go see what kind of materials they're using and the type of quality they have, and I can get that same type of quality or even go a step higher and get something a little bit better. But I have the same type of quality that you would see on Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Puma, and all them other big companies. I got the same quality.
That's good to know.
Nothing less.
That's good to know, yeah.
Thank you.
So man, won't you tell me, what would you like people to know about you?
That I'm a giver, that I'm a supporter, that I'm a fighter, that I love helping out people in times of need, and I'm big on the disabled and handicapped community. In a nutshell, that's just what I'm about. Mm-hmm. And basically, being that I'm raising a disabled child with cerebral palsy, that's all I know. That's what we eat, sleep, and that's what we do. So being that I deal with that on a day-to-day, one thing you know about me is I'm a survivor, and I love to help everybody out who's in my situation. That's what I want people to know about me.
Well, I can tell you, man, since the first time I talked to you, I felt your energy and your fervor and your passion for what you're doing, for what you're about. I know that you're a sincere person, man, and this ideal that you have to give back, even though you're starting your company a year and a half in right now.
Yes.
That's big, man. And so I hope you get it back 20-fold.
Oh, man,
I hope you get the business 20-fold.
You can also call upon MJA Apparel, like say if you as an organization, you wanted some clothing donated to a particular place or charity or facility, you can always come through me and I'll donate it for you. And we can work that out. Whoever your favorite charity is or whoever you want to donate apparel to, you can call up MJA Apparel, whereas you wouldn't have to do all that work yourself. You can call me up, my company up, and say, hey, can you donate 100 shirts over to this facility? Because it may be your favorite facility that you know. We do that as well.
Oh, that's great, man. Mm-hmm. And again, tell us how we can find you.
Well, all you gotta do is go to www.mjaapparel.store. That's my website and our online store. I'm on all platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and we're also on TikTok as well.
Oh, that's great. Now, you know I got beef with you coming from New York, right?
It's all good.
Your top three, man. Come on now. Come on, your top three. Come on.
Now, are we talking my top 3 rappers?
Of course.
Okay. Well, let's see. My top 3 rappers, I like KRS-One. I'm old school, KRS-One for sure. I like rock.
Look how serious you look when you say that.
Yeah.
You've been there with business when you say that.
No, man. You know what I mean. I grew up on KRS-One. The education, the knowledge of KRS-One teaching as he rapped. That was big to us. It wasn't just about rapping and making a song. It was about educating his people. And so I'm big on that. So I would say KRS-One. I'm also a big Rakim fan. Eric being Rakim, I was big on Rakim. So I would say my top 3 would be like KRS-One, Rakim. I go with Biggie and Biggie Smalls because Biggie did change the game when he came out.